Greetings everyone, welcome back. Joseph James, schooltrade.com. It's November 2nd, Super Tuesday as they call it. Happy Tuesday to you guys. Had of course an election today. Now yesterday on Monday we talked about how this morning on Tuesday morning, right, this was the beginning of Fed Day. So of course tomorrow we have the Fed announcement. We also had Super Tuesday today, which of course is where most of the traders are going to be focusing on the elections, right, rather than casting their vote instead of taking their day trades. So we're expecting things to be a little bit rocky this morning, expecting a slow, sluggish day. We got that, but we did a pretty darn good job at managing that slow, sloppy market we saw this morning. Now, before we talk about the trades we took today, I want to remind you guys a couple things here. First of all, don't forget, this Friday, we got that beginner's training. Had a huge success last Friday. We're doing it again this Friday. We'll do our beginner's questions, right? Doesn't mean advanced traders can't come. But guys, if you're a beginning trader, you want to know basic information about day trading, right? Using charts, right? Futures contracts, what it means to be a professional trader, right? Things like that we'll be talking about on Friday. So make sure you guys are here on Friday at 11 o'clock. And don't forget, bring your friends with you, right? Bring your questions, and we'll get you guys taken care of on Friday morning. Now, couple things on the blog. Live support, all right, guys? Live support. We've got a bunch of new members right now. If you're a new member and you have a question about where can you get registered for Wednesday's training, right? Live support, all right? Great spot to ask questions there. Don't forget, there's a search box, right? So you can search for, right? Type in the questions you guys have, type in the terms. Maybe you want to know more about different chart types or range charts or the crude oil or the dollar correlation. You could type in those questions there. But the best thing you want to do here, guys, two important things. First thing is, up top here, right above me, you'll see a couple sections in the headers here up top, right? Trade room resources, webinars, and the beginner's corner. All right, guys, so use these links up above me here to get a lot more information in one, right, easy to use place. And then below me, right down bottom here, you'll see the follow me button, right? Follow this blog. By following the blog, you'll get all the new updates immediately whenever they're posted on the blog. So lots of great stuff on the blog, guys. Get to know it. If you're a member, you'll be using this stuff every day, so get to know this stuff, guys. All right, let's see how we did today. 2, 4, 6 total trades. Boy, again, we keep taking these losses. So today was one of those days where we had losses, but as you can see, they were small losses. Now, what's the easiest way to ensure your success? Right? Cut the losses early, right? Minimize those losses, maximize the winners. And you can see we did a great job of that. We had two really big winning trades there, 30 ticks and 45 ticks. Nice big winning trades, right? Now that, of course, absorbs those small losses very nicely. Like I said yesterday, I'll gladly take 10 trades in a day, 3 or 4 losses, keep those losses nice and short, right? Minimize those losses. If I can let those winners run, we'll have some big results just like we did today. So of course, starting this month off, we had a great day yesterday, 1770. We took another $1,000 out of the market this morning, 99 ticks, right? One of those trades on the euro, so of course, $12.50 per tick on the euro. That brings our weekly total now to 2808, so over 280 ticks, right? This week alone, right? 2808 this week. Monthly total the same, 2808, and yearly total 186,000. Now again, I'm shooting for that record-breaking month last month of October. We did 34,000 month of October, so I'm shooting for that number this month. All right, I'm trying to hit that number, 37,000, 34,000 for the month of November as well. All right, guys, don't forget, come join us a free trial. We'll give you 3 weeks part of our trial. You can come in and you can watch these trades taken live in real time. All right, as a member, you'll get lifetime access to our trade room, right? Every single day, no monthly fees, everything's included. Right? You guys come in and join us tomorrow. Now, what happened today? Well, again, Super Tuesday, right? Instead of taking day trades, traders were thinking about who they were going to vote, right? When they were going to vote, who they were going to vote for. So traders are distracted this morning, right? In fact, I'm looking for a good time right now to get out of here and do mine, all right? But obviously, day traders are always focused on their trading, but today they were focused on the election, most of them. So we saw low volume. It was a slow start of the day. But we did get some pretty decent moves. Now you'll notice we traded the gold, the crude, the Russell, and the euro. We traded 4 different markets. And except for that darn gold, we made money on all 4. I still couldn't get that money out of the gold this morning. I tried a couple times and couldn't do it. So the first trade on crude was a big 45 tick winner. That really set us up for a great day in front of us. Right now, this is the picture perfect scenario. Right? Tuesday morning, we're concerned about volume. We're concerned about the slow speed of the market because it's election day. The first trade makes me $450 by selling the highs on crude. Right? Now that obviously takes all the pressure off now. Right? Still couldn't find a way to make money on gold. Right? I tried twice. Both of them were winning trades too. That was the hard part on gold today. Both gold trades were both winning trades, but I got out early because it was just all over the place, and eventually the trade ended up working. So couldn't find a way to squeeze some money out of gold this morning. Sold the highs on crude, sold the highs in the Russell, and we had a nice, well, it was a higher risk wave pattern in the euro. We'll take a look at that as well. All right, guys? Let's see what the dollar looked like, though, because that's where I begin every day on the dollar. So here's the dollar. Now, the dollar this morning gave us a little bit of conflicting signals. Now, the first thing we saw here, look at that trading range, right? Compare today's trading range, right, to yesterday's trading range, right? And then compare yesterday's trading range to the day before. What are you guys seeing right there? What do you see? I see exactly right. We're seeing a narrowing here of our trading range. Now, many people would call this, right, a bear pattern, right? Bear pattern looks like that, right? A bear pattern. Price will come down, or I'm sorry, a bear flag, right? Be a bear flag. So what we have here is we have a narrowing price action. It was an inside day, which meant we were trading inside the range from yesterday. We hadn't broke new lows, we hadn't broke new highs, inside day. Very narrow trading range. And as you guys can see, I'm at the bottom of our head and shoulders pattern, right? That head and shoulders pattern we talked about yesterday, that head and shoulders pattern, we are right here now chopping around at the lows of that head and shoulders. Now guys, here's what typically happens on a head and shoulders pattern. We have the, right, there's your shoulder, there's your head, right, there's your shoulder. So what happens on a head and shoulders pattern is this. When we break the neckline, right, that's going to be your trigger, right, to get short. Okay, however, that doesn't happen very often. Okay, usually what happens is price sits here and goes sideways, and eventually it does break the downside, but it can be very tough to tell when it breaks, right? It'll pop down, come back up. It'll do that over and over again. So one of the things we know is that a head and shoulders pattern is, of course, a reversal pattern. So we're expecting this market to drop, but we also know that before it drops, it's going to make our job a nightmare with little fake out breakouts, and it will consolidate right at those lows. Okay, so meanwhile, you've got everybody in the market that can clearly see this head and shoulders. Everybody in the market knows that once we broke below the 76,880 over here, right, that's when the party will start. We break those new lows, that's when everything's going to start jumping around. All right, now, didn't get it this morning, we kept going sideways. All right, but this is what we saw in the dollar. The dollar told us to be very, very careful this morning because of narrowing price action inside trading day. Now, we also got some encouraging news, and this is what I mean by we got some conflicting signals. Okay, the chart itself told us, right, be careful, right? We've got some challenging prices here. But then we looked at our ATR. The average to range was rising. We also looked at the speed, and we actually had decent speed today. So there were two things that actually told us that we might just have a light at the end of this tunnel this morning, right? Narrow trading range, right? Tight, narrow trading inside day says, right, be careful. But a rising ATR, a rising speed says, hey, don't be so worrisome, right? We may see some pretty good patterns. So mixed signals here on the dollar. The bottom line is I marked up my highs, I marked up my lows at 340, right? And then of course here at 890, and I waited for price to test the highs and the lows. All right, guys? Now what happened was, let's go to crude, right? Here's my first trade of the morning here on crude. Now like I said, guys, right? We took our first trade of today by selling the highs on crude. Well, here's my wedge pattern on crude, right? There's my wedge high, my wedge low. And so where we find ourselves right now, we're at the highs of that wedge. Now I had two different options here, right? Being at the highs of the wedge, you'll notice we have 84 even right there. I can break above 84 even and then take a breakout trade. Now that actually happened after 1 o'clock Eastern time today.